Hello, all of you. The topic is pulmonary ventilation and pressure and volume changes during pulmonary ventilation. What is pulmonary ventilation? As we know that the external respiration is the supply of O2 from atmosphere to the body tissue and removal of CO2 from the body to the atmosphere. It involves three major processes, and these three major process, the first process is pulmonary ventilation, second is pulmonary diffusion, and third is the transport of gases. We will discuss pulmonary ventilation, that is the exchange of gases between environment and lung. We have read about the mechanism of respiration in previous class, so we will discuss the pressure changes during pulmonary ventilation. So, pressure and volume changes during respiratory cycle. Now come to the intrapulmonary pressure change during respiratory cycle. Intrapulmonary pressure, that is the movement of air in and out of the lung. It depends on the pressure gradient between the alveoli and atmosphere, that is called trans-airway pressure. Intrapulmonary pressure is the or alveolar pressure is the air pressure inside the lung alveoli. So that one is the trans-airway pressure and second is the intrapulmonary pressure. In expiration and in inspiration, the glottis is open and there is no movement of the air. So the pressure in all part of the respiratory are equal to the atmospheric pressure. Intrapulmonary pressure is then equal to 0 mmHg. That is the pressure inside the lung alveoli is 0 mmHg. Now come to the during inspiration in quiet breathing. What happened in this? The pressure in the alveoli decreased to about -1 mmHg, which is sufficient to suck 500 ml of air within 2 seconds of the inspiration. So at the end inspiration, intrapulmonary pressure become 0. During forced inspiration against a closed glottis, that is Mueller's maneuver. In this maneuver, the intrapulmonary pressure become as low as -80 mmHg below atmospheric pressure. During expiration, what happened? In quiet breathing, the elastic recoil of the lung causes intrapulmonary pressure to shift to the positive side, that is +1 mmHg, and it forces 500 ml of air out of the lung during 2 to 3 seconds of the expiration. At end expiration, the pressure, alveolar pressure and atmospheric pressure become equal, that is 0 mmHg. Valsalva maneuver, that is forced expiration against the closed glottis, it may produce intrapulmonary pressure of 100 mmHg. Now intrapleural pressure during respiratory cycle. What is pleural pressure? It is the pressure of the fluid in space between the visceral pleura and parietal pleura. Normal pleural pressure is -2.5 mmHg when the respiratory muscles are completely relaxed and airways are open. it is minus 2.5 mmHg. The negative pleural pressure is minus 2.5 mmHg is the suction required to hold the lung at their equilibrium volume or the functional residual capacity. What is the functional residual capacity? It is the lung volume at the end of normal and relaxed expiration and is about 2 to 2.5 liter of the gas. Negative pleural pressure is due to balance between the recoil tendency of the lung and recoil tendency of the thoracic cage. The recoil tendency of the lung, that is continuous tendency to collapse. It is due to the presence of many elastic fiber in the alveolar walls, which are under constant stress in the inflated lungs. Second, it is due to surface tension of the fluid that lines the alveoli, due to which the alveoli tends to become progressively smaller and collapse. Recoil tendency of the thoracic cage, that is constant tendency to expand, is due to because of chest wall is elastic structure and it is normally partially pulled inward. Elastic property of the thoracic cage is because of the elastic nature of the ribs, muscles and tendons. During inspiration, due to expansion of the chest wall, the pleural pressure becomes more negative, that is equal to minus 6 mmHg, and it pulls the surface of the lung with greater force, creating negative intrapulmonary pressure. During expiration, what happened? At the end of inspiration, inspiratory muscle relax and the recoiling force of the lung begin to pull the chest wall back to the expiratory position. At end expiratory position, when the recoil force of the lung and recoil force of the thoracic cage balance, pleural pressure return back to its normal value, that is minus 2.5 mmHg. It is a graph that shows the pressure and volume changes during respiratory cycle. During inspiration, the intrapulmonary pressure decreases and during expiration it increases, and similarly for intrapleural pressure, during inspiration it decreases and during expiration, in the later half of the expiration, it increases. Volume change we will discuss later. Factors that affect the pleural pressure. Deep inspiration. During deep inspiration, pleural pressure become as low as minus 30 mmHg during deep inspiration. Second is the Valsalva maneuver. Intrapleural pressure become positive by 60 to 70 mmHg, that is greater than the atmospheric pressure, such as during defecation, coughing. In this, expiratory muscles are working against the closed glottis. There occur marked decrease in the thoracic volume, causing deflation of the lung. So the pressure, intrapleural pressure, become increase or become positive by 60 to 70 mmHg. Third is the gravity. Pleural pressure in the standing position is more negative, that is -7 mmHg at the apices of the lung as compared to the base. At base it is -2 mmHg. So the lungs are less expanded at the base and airway at the base may become closed at the end of expiration. This is why during the first part of the inspiration, more of the inspired gas goes to the apices than the base of the lung. Fourth is the injury to the chest wall. It causes exposure of the pleural cavity to the exterior, and this causes air to enter the pleural cavity, that is called pneumothorax, and the pleural pressure rises from the subatmospheric level to the atmospheric level. And in this condition there is no opposing force to elastic recoil of the lung, so the lung get collapsed. Fifth is the emphysema. It is a disease of the lung in which the lung elasticity is decreased or lost. Due to decrease in the recoiling force of the lung, the intrapleural pressure becomes less negative or it increases. Due to this, the lung alveoli expand and chest also expand and it becomes barrel shaped. Now come to the measurement of pleural pressure. First is the manometric measurement. It can be made by the inserting a needle into the intrapleural space, whose other end is attached to a water manometer with the help of rubber tubing. Intraesophageal pressure can be recorded with the help of a air containing rubber balloon that is sealed over a catheter placed in the lower part of the thoracic part of the esophagus. Intraesophageal pressure in the thoracic part is equivalent to the intrapleural pressure because this part of the esophagus become closed cavity due to closure of its lower end by the cardiac sphincter and upper end by the closure of glottis. Now come to the lung volume changes during respiratory cycle. During tidal inspiration, volume of the air in the lung, it get increased by 500 ml, that is the tidal volume. During tidal expiration, in this the elastic forces compresses the gas in the lung which start flowing out, and at the end of the expiration the volume of air in the lung decreases by the 500 ml. So lung volume get increased during inspiration and get decreased during expiration. That you can see in this graph. It is the graph of lung volume. During inspiration it get increased and during expiration it get decreased. This is all about the pressure and volume changes during the respiratory cycle. Thank you.